We are live. Let me tweet this out real quick. Okay, we are live, everybody. I hope you all are having a wonderful evening. Let me post this over on Threads as well and let everybody know we're live on YouTube. It's been a minute. It's been a while. Um, Good evening, everybody. I hope you all are having a one Monday. It's been a while since I've been live. I started my channel on January 31st, 2019 to be exact. And it has been an interesting journey so far. I had my gallbladder out this past August and dealt with some physical health issues and some mental health issues. And it took me a while to hit my 1,000 subscriber mark. But now that I have, I feel like it's on a steady incline. And I am at 1,018 as of right now, and steadily climbing and making content, been releasing videos about every day for this past week. And then now I have slowed things down a little bit to about every other day in order to kind of maintain that constant flow of content. The other thing that's kind of awesome about doing YouTube is the fact that I get to join you all in these live events like this and get to celebrate and talk about a little bit about technology and a little bit about what's going on. As we all know, this past week or so, most people who got pre-orders for the Apple Vision Pro got their devices in, and I have some thoughts on that. The OnePlus 12 came out. People are enjoying their S24 Ultras. I got mine right here. Been using mine for about a week now, so that video shall be coming out tomorrow. And I've got case videos on the channel. If you haven't seen those, check those out. I've got I'll be doing a Galaxy Watch video, some Samsung ecosystem content, using their earbuds right now, switching over from my iPhone to using Samsung's ecosystem and exploring that. That should be interesting to see how that goes as well. And it's only due to your guys' support that I'm capable and able to do this. And so, I'm not monetized yet. There are support links down below. If you choose to buy me a coffee, that would be great. You can always, DM me on Twitter. I also have support links over on Twitter where you can tip me on there, and it gives you links to, I think, Cash App and some other stuff on there. But, I never really asked for that. Everything is out of pocket, so the only thing I really ask is for, if you like the content, subscribe, and, that's all we can really do. So let's get into a little discussion, a little tech discussion here. So the Apple Vision Pro came out this week, and there's been kind of two sides of the coin. One side is, oh, it's just like the Quest. It's just like the Meta Quest. It's, for entertainment. but it's not as good because you can't play games and there's lack of app support and this and that. And it's like, well, yes, Apple's first generation and developers have to make the apps optimized for it. Now, the great aspect is because it's part of Apple's ecosystem, the idea that you can just click as a developer and make your app available as an iPad app up on that platform. Now, the downside to that is some developers may choose to just do that, and then the users don't really get the benefit of an optimized spatial app. They just kind of get a flat app. But not all apps really need more dimension to it. You know, if you're keeping track of some sporting events, maybe just having two-dimensional stuff. Um, maybe some weather apps using multi-dimensional stuff has been really neat to see. And realistically, as more people get their hands on the device and give ideas, and developers get their hands on the device, see, there wasn't really like any dev kit release, so developers are getting their hands on the device at the same time as everybody else. I see potential use for medical use, education, um, navigation, um, homeowners being able to kind of, if you're looking for a house, you can go through and look at these, look at a plot of land. You could put a 3D house up and tour it without having it built yet, see if it's going to fit on that property. You could do flyovers of property, government use, military use, all sorts of uses for this technology I can see coming in play. The other area is education. So we all know that, you have medical education and you have science education and you have kids who learn through spatial and through navigating socially, but maybe they're socially awkward. Well, the idea is that they could communicate with a personality that's maybe not real. So as this technology trickles down and becomes more cost effective, it's beneficial to those people. I deal with social anxieties. So the idea that I could potentially have a pair of glasses and I'm having an anxiety attack or panic attack, just hit a button, be transported into kind of a new space is awesome. Let me know what you guys kind of think about this. If you are, watching this, let me know in the chat, of course, what you all think. I hope that you know, this is something you guys are interested in. I'll be doing full-on videos about this as well. Um, one of the other things that's kind of come about is the display on the Galaxy S24 Ultra being dull. Well, I think that one of the interesting aspects of it is it's really its first kind of display that's been out like this that's got that matte finish as far as on a phone that's got that, not really a matte finish, but a low reflective display. And so what that really means is, I'm sitting here and I've got lights on around me, and as I move it around, it's not super reflective. But what that means visually is that we perceive that as dull, just as like a matte display on a monitor is perceived to be kind of a dull display. It's not as vibrant, it's not as pretty in that sense of things. And so, yeah, well, some of us may look at it and compare it to other devices and say, well, that's that it's flawed or there's an issue with it. If you have an actual hardware issue, it's one thing. I will say there is a software issue where the slider doesn't seem to affect things much. But as far as the hardware actually being flawed, I don't seem to get that, at least not on mine. I understand some people have, and if you have, let me know. The so the OnePlus 12 came out, and we're seeing more and more videos come out on that. There, smaller channels covering that. I'll try to remember to link some of those down below. I'll try to remember to, share my fellow content creator links down below as people get their hands on them and as videos come out. Of course, check my Twitter. It is at Tech Discussions, all capitalized. The O is a zero, so TECHDISCUSSIONS. DISCUSSI0NS, and I'll be sharing links over there as well. Threads is I have at Michael Pepper Tech, Instagram as well. And on here in the community notes, I'll be sure to try to share some of those out as those come out. And, as we see the great technology that's packed into such a cost effective product, undercutting the competition, offering everything that people have really asked for. They wanted wireless charging back, they wanted video out, they want all, the highest end SoC, the high end cameras. They want all these features, and it's all in there at a product that's, anywhere from, $500, 300, $500 or more under the competition. So that's great to see. And even the 12R coming out at $500 as kind of a version of the OnePlus 11 with slightly worse second and third cameras. But for a lot of us, we just use the primary camera. And if you're not really into photography in the senses of that you're not going to pick up and go into pro mode, you're just going to use that main camera to shoot most of the time. And you want a device that's going to charge super fast. The battery is going to last long. It's going to be a smooth operating system. You're going to get, 3, 4, or 5 years support on it. You're going to know that if something goes wrong, you can reach out to the company. You can find replacement chargers. It comes with a charger in the box. You're going to be able to find cases. Then, it's a great option. There's deals on it. There's sales on it. You can trade in devices. Um, you can buy it. You'll be able to pick it up at Best Buy starting Friday. Be right available to ship. So, you don't have to worry about shipping from overseas and some third-party company that you don't know. It's available just as much as a Pixel, an iPhone, a Samsung device is. And, it's awesome to see that. And it's awesome to see that technology is exciting. And I'm excited to see where it goes. And um, so that's kind of my thoughts right now. Let's go into the chat. Hey, Eric, how are you doing? Just kind of doing a celebration. Hey, El Jefe, thanks, man. You know, it's been a rough journey. I think we've all struggled in the last little bit. I mean, I know you've been through some stuff, I've been through some stuff, and I'm glad to be there, and it's been an amazing journey, to see people saying, "Hey, yeah, we want you to do," like I put out a community post and I got people commenting like, "Hey, thanks for your thorough discussion on the OnePlus 12." So I did a video talking about how they're able to undercut the competition and kind of what goes into the development a little bit of that. And it got really good feedback. And so I was going to do a second channel. I have a tech discussion second channel. Um, but I feel like more people on the main channel, on this channel, really want to see that content as well. And so I don't really want to bifurcate or separate the channels at this point. I figured very, 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 how are you doing? Dwayne, how are you doing, sir? I figured I wanted to celebrate. I want to talk about a little bit about tech stuff that's going on. Um, Pixel's got the February update today. I see. I need to bring up my Pixel Fold and run that update. And I got a chance to test out. I connected up my Pixel Fold to my desktop PC and was able to test the webcam stuff. So that's pretty cool. Um, I wish it was available on Mac. That would be really nice. I'm using my iPhone right now as a camera. I got it plugged in, but it's just, I mean, it works wirelessly. So that's kind of cool to see. Technology is super exciting. Motorola has their ready for, but they also integrate with Lenovo and their laptops and the ability to use a webcam through that. So it's pretty cool to see. Like I'm using continuity camera with my Mac and my iPhone, and then I can't remember. I want to say it started back on the maybe last year, no, a couple years ago on the S22 Ultra. that you could do an HDMI out clean video and be able to connect an adapter up and use your Samsung as a webcam as well. So maybe trying that out. I have an adapter around here. I had to get a new one. My old one died. So that's going to be kind of neat to see how that operates. Exciting stuff. I've actually been using my Galaxy Watch. My iPhone basically has been being used to take photos of the Ultra and video clips for my channel when I can't, because I can't record with the device that I'm recording products about. So when I'm comparing this or my Fold and stuff, so it's basically become a secondary tool. So I want to do a video about switching over without fully switching over. So, we all know how creators go back and forth. But for me, I'm going to be moving my main number over. I'm really liking the S24 Ultra that much. And so the iPhone is just going to become the tool where if somebody sends an iMessage to my email address, I'll respond from this phone and get everybody moved over to the phone number. And then eventually it's going to be just a tool. So use it as a webcam, second angle, use it to record video clips. And I'm considering trading it in and getting the OnePlus 12 or actually selling it and picking up the OnePlus 12 as well. Sorry, it's been a while since I've gone live. I was on a live stream last night and whew. And then it's been kind of cold here and our heat's been running like crazy in the living room, so I know I saw I believe, yeah, I was gonna click on that clip today that speaking of I believe, let me double check here. Yeah, Dwayne Mims talking about OnePlus 12. He did a video on that. He's got his first look on the S24 Ultra. That Rinky Onyx. I want to pick up the Rinky that matches. I have the Onyx case. It's all black. That's got the nice texture for my iPhone. I want to pick up one for this device and MagSafe. I've been using the Tudia case because it's got the MagSafe in the back of it, and I have a tripod adapter, and so I got a camera stand for my desktop to hook on my desk. So then to put this from up above or my iPhone from up above for top down. Um, and then I do need to get a new desk. The legs on mine broke. So working on, pumping out content, trying to get my hours built up, get monetized, be able to do some live streams, be able to, um, you know, bring in some money and have money coming in to support the channel. So I've been, uh, for all of you that don't know, I've actually been writing on a Patreon. I try to write on there about once a week at least. And just as many of us have one of our earlier on supporters for a lot of our channels. Tech for Your Needs is one of my Patreons over there. I had that set up so it's like $2.99, and people can choose to support and help. As I do my writing and all that. Buy me a coffee and a link down below as well. And just exciting to see where things go. I have a goal, trying to hit 5,000 subscribers this year. I know the subscriber number isn't necessarily as much of a big deal as getting kind of the views and the hours, and just continuing to make content and enjoy it, and getting these ideas and even the ideas from the community and people saying, hey, we'd like to hear about this and your thoughts on this. And it's really motivational when people recognize your skill set and say, hey, you should talk about, this particular topic. And, you know, um, speaking of somebody who's very motivational of ideas, Jason C. Thank you, sir. You know, um, when I started my channel, originally the idea was I was part of a Kevin Breeze you Facebook community page, and he had people asking questions and he was answering, but then I found myself answering a lot of questions to people too, and I thought, well, instead of typing in here all the time, I should make videos. So I started making videos, and I was buying like Umidigi and some of like these cheaper phones because people had questions about them, and I was making content. And then I was selling the devices. And the problem was, um, then well, then I ended up having a little boy and starting a family, and I was living with my parents and dealing with financial issues and mental health issues and physical health issues, and just been so YouTube kind of got put on the back burner. I was making content as I could afford to get products or putting products on payment plans and trying to buy stuff to improve my quality and focusing on now I'm really focusing on if I get a product, putting out as many videos about that product as I possibly can, but not repeating necessarily what other people are doing. So today I put out a video, and if you haven't watched it, love it if you check it out. It's talking about using and scanning in 3 quick ways to scan in QR codes with Circle of the Search coming out on the S24 Ultra, and then that was in a Pixel drop feature drop. Then it's not really native in there, so I show how you can use it and bring up the camera and then use it. I show how you can use the Edge panel to do it. Uh, just Google search in general. So you can do that on a Pixel in a few different ways as well. You can, trigger Google key phrase and um, so it's um, it's motivating to have people watching this content, and I just put it out there, and you get 10 views on videos, or I look back and I have video that has 1,000 views. I have one that has 1,100 views, and it's 300 views and 200 views, and 60, 23, 5, and so they're all over the place. But what's cool is even if one person watches it and is helped, that's motivational for me. If I get one person commenting on there, oh cool, I didn't know you could do this, or oh thanks for helping me save my time, or this really helped explain things to my parents or whatever. To me, that's just as awesome as if 10,000 people were to watch videos. And not that I don't want 10,000 people to watch, but I'd rather have 100 people watch and get something out of it than 10,000 people click and go away. So it's the people that are here and have been here for a long time. It's like awesome, incredible people. You know, the tech preacher Eric, Easy Computer Solutions. I've been watching him for, oh gosh, it's been, well, let's see, my channel's been 5 years. I want to say, 8 years, maybe longer. Jay Williams has been watching since early days when he was doing some stuff, and he was recording, I think, mostly on phones, and he still does. Eric, I think he wasn't really doing the multi-camera stuff, and I'm trying to think of what I think one of it was like um maybe a new Medici or some off-brand phone that I found him through. And I'm trying to think that the motivation of that, and then um, you know, Tech for Your Knees has been around. Lewis has been around. Been supportive since my early days when I think I had like 50 subscribers. Barry Johnson, Dwayne Mims, Tech Loving Mama, the different ones that are in their chat here. Savage Scientists. I mean, it's been interesting because a lot of us have kind of met through chats, and then we've integrated and kind of bumped into each other through live streams and stuff. T, hey, how's it going? Man, these case videos are no joke. Um, I don't know how you get longer videos. Um, I struggle to get longer videos and not ramble on, but I'm working on it. It's been cool that I started doing some case videos. And I did case video on my iPhone 15 Pro from Taurus, and then Taurus hit me up and goes, "Hey, we liked your video. Um, are you picking up the S24 Ultra?" And I said, "Yep." So they're sending me that out. I should have that soon. Um, I have a couple other companies that I need to hit up. They said, "Hey, are you getting this?" And I got to reach out to, and I check and see if some of my contacts are still good from uh, a couple years ago. But it's uh it's an awesome journey, and it's cool to see, like, with the case content, some people just have different varying versions of how they do things. I tend to be pretty quick of, here's the ports, here's the this, clicky buttons, this, that. Does it have MagSafe? Yep, here's how it works, and I'm out the door. And then you have kind of people doing drop tests, people doing in-car demos and testing them on um, testing them on charging stands, seeing how strong the magnetic connection is. That's one thing I really like, and I watch a lot of case videos, not necessarily because I'm interested in cases, but to see how they're doing content and to see, like, how I can perfect my skill set. So a lot of times lately, when I've been watching other people's content, not necessarily to, like, steal ideas from them, but to borrow kind of techniques and transitions and some stuff. And I've been adding a little bit of humor in there. If you guys haven't seen the video that I did on this case, you should check it out. It's pretty funny. You get to kind of experience what it's like to be a phone with a case getting put on. I'll just put it at that. So throwing a little bit of humor and my own personality in there, which has been a struggle. Um, Kind of an awkward person. So I think a lot of us in the make content really are awkward people, but we get on camera, and the nice thing is you can edit that out. So you get to kind of manipulate and construct how people perceive you, which is pretty cool. One of the things I like about doing, these live streams is you get to see me as me, and I'm doing the ums and the ahs. But it's been a while. It's been months since I've been live, so it's pretty cool to come on here. And StreamYard's changed, and there's banners, and some of the banner stuff has changed, and but I'm back, and my goal is to do this at least every other week, maybe every week, probably Mondays around this time. I know that Tech for Your Needs usually goes at 7, so 8 would be good, be right after him. I know T sometimes goes later in the evening. I know there's Monday Night Football. I know next week, I'll be just after the Super Bowl, so that will be interesting. People might be hungover, so maybe I should get more views then, because they'll click on not knowing what they're watching because they're drunk. No. Um, so, it's just been an interesting journey, switching my onset of how I view technology. Uh, I honestly wasn't really, I would give other devices, like, I would get into them, but I wasn't wholly using them. So, like, I would like the cameras and I would like this and that, but not to the point where I felt like I could completely switch over. And I'm still struggling with that a little bit with this, especially indoors. So part of me is always going to dual carry. I'm always going to have an iPhone or a Pixel for those inside moments, for capturing, taking pictures of my son, or um, just kind of the smirk when my wife gets a smirk on her face, capturing those moments that I can't take the time to go into pro mode and adjust it, and I'm not going to have them repose. I need to capture the authenticity of the moment, and so for me, that's where I'm either going to carry. I'm going to have to carry an iPhone, a Pixel, or a OnePlus along with this device. But I am talking about, probably tomorrow. I'll be contacting T-Mobile to switch my number over, and I've been using my Galaxy Tab, and so LumaFusion and some stuff like that is going to be quite neat to see. Um, you know, Calling awkward. We're all awkward. I think a lot of us are awkward, until we get adjusted to it and we get back into things. And you know, um, part of the great thing about this is you just get to talk, and I'm on a live stream by myself, so I get to just talk and ramble, and people come in and out, and I'll get new people that might click on and see, and I'll get people that have been around that will stay around just to show support. And it's fun, and I really like the interaction part of it. I miss it. Um, and you definitely awkward. Um, I don't know. I think all of us are what do you call it? Lacking social discipline sometimes, so it's not really awkward as much as just finding our skill sets and finding what benefits us in the way that we can portray or represent ourselves to our viewers, to our community. And so, one of the amazing things is like, I have a lot of fellow creators that are in the chat here, and we all support each other and check on each other. And I get messages all the time like, "Hey, how are you doing?" And I even have a couple companies that I worked with that have reached out and been like, "Hey, Michael, how are you doing? Are you doing okay?" And so it's pretty cool to see that interaction and understand that these are just people that are behind these companies. And I think that um, you know on the opposite side of it is I'm just the person sitting on this side of the camera, talking to you all. And so from my perspective is, when somebody comes in with some whack ass comment into my um, channel, I don't have time for that anymore. I don't even respond. It's just like a hide from head user from channel and move on. Had some people say some things that just kind of making me laugh, and I'm like, clearly you haven't watched videos, or clearly you don't interact with people that are in life that aren't normal in your pure view. I'm not some rip buff, whatever. I'm just me, and I'm just doing my thing, talking to the camera, getting my ideas out of my head and away from annoying my wife to helping other people hopefully learn. I'll have faces. I'm awkward AF, but I work through it by practicing. Much like a muscle, you get better at social interactions by putting in reps. Yeah, it's true. I used to be like extremely social, go to karaoke all the time. Talking to random people, and I'm an empath, and so I read people and I would sense things about people, and so I would, read people and stuff. And now I don't know. It's like the pandemic hit, certain things happened, and um, so I've been going to counseling every Wednesday now at 11, and it's been interesting. I've been doing some stuff, just kind of discovering my inner personalities and exploring the good and the bad, the protectors and stuff like that. I don't want to get too far into that, but that's the amazing thing too is like YouTube. There's lots of meditation videos, so if you are dealing with mental stresses, go check out that stuff. I think a lot of us we hop on each other's we hop on live streams, and I'm always up to being on people's live streams as well. But I think a lot of us do these interactions because it's our way of escaping from the nonsense and being able to interact with other people who are like-minded and enjoy content and topics just like we do. And so, we celebrate those things, and we celebrate these milestones together. 5 years, 1,000 subscribers, and we enjoy, debating technology, and we enjoy interacting, and people bring up things that I had not thought of. People bring up questions, and a lot of my content now is just coming from those questions. I know Aljefe can relate. He has people that come in and go, have you tried out this? Or are you going to try out this? Or, and a lot of those ideas come from your viewers. They come from your own, mindset as well. But you'll get somebody that's compared to something you might not have thought of, or like they'll ask you, well, this has this feature, but how does it handle it? It does temperature affect them? Um, how's the battery life with it on or off? You know, did you know about this mode and things like that? And so we all get those interactions, and it's great. It sparks inspiration. Hey, LaShawn, how's it going? Um, for me, my motivation is just making content. It's just taking the ideas that are up here that typically get just stuck up there and keep me awake at night and just recording videos. Uh, the great thing that I'm going to start doing now, and I was doing with my iPhone, is I have a note and I put out these ideas. And so I'll go into the notes and I'll have a new idea and I'll just pull that note. Now with this, if I have an idea, I can just pop open the S Pen and right on the lock screen, write down the ideas, and then in the morning they'll be there. And it's not a big bright screen, it's not distracting. And I think that what makes me a little bit different is I look at technology not just like, oh, this is all these crazy ways we can use it, but what about the ways that we didn't think of, or what about the ways that we use in our life? And so my motto of I don't just talk tech, I live it, is really important to me and really true. And then if you on my other channel, on my second channel on Tech Discussions, which I will be doing more content on there as well. But it's Tech Discussions where tech and life meet. And so that channel is really about the idea of how we utilize technology, and in some cases in ways that we don't necessarily think about. And so the amazing thing with these features that are out now that are AI. So let's talk about a little bit of tech discussion. I know I talk about myself a little bit, but it is a tech channel. It is, I did say 5 years, 1,000 subscriber celebration, and let's have a tech discussion. So one thing that I want to talk about is, these AI features and stuff that AI is, it's just kind of a buzz phrase. And so what do I mean by that? Well, companies have been doing AI stuff for years. I mean, we look at Apple and we don't think, well, AI, but they really have. Voice isolation. I'm using a feature right here that is studio light. If I turn that off, that's my normal. This is with it on. Reactions. You can do some fun stuff. You can do different things. Thumbs up. Like the channel, give it a thumbs up if you like this video. If you like the channel, you're new, subscribe. That type of thing. Portrait mode. Let's see, center stage where it kind of focuses on me. That's all machine learning AI type of stuff. Then you have features like personal voice where you can train it and then it creates basically a robotic version of your voice that you can then type in text and have it read out. Um, some of the Siri stuff where you can ask it for your password and it pulls it up and then it scans your face. There's all sorts of stuff there, but Google, uh, for a number of years now, they've been really into it with their cameras, and more recently with Circle to Search and with like the calling features. But even on here, I showed my wife something. It was cool. I had her call the number, and then I was able to type in stuff, and it says it in a voice, and it sounds pretty natural. Or you can ask somebody who they are, and it tells them that you're using that, so they know. So if a company calls you, or telemarketer calls you, you can just hit that, and then if it turns out, oh, it's not a telemarketer or a spammer, just didn't recognize the number, somebody got a new number, you can say, I'll be there in a minute. um, just these features as far as what's integrated in here that people can use day to day is stuff I want to cover. And it's exciting to me because it's technology that's being shared. So yeah, Google created stuff, but then there's things on here that Samsung is doing that Google is not doing yet. The call translation stuff. Then Google has things that they're doing where the translation, where on their Fold, on the outer screen, it will translate what you're saying into there. Like, so if I was speaking English and somebody else across from me speaking Spanish, it'll translate to Spanish, and then when they speak back, it translates to English on my side. The communication stuff. I think that, if we think about it in particular, there are some people that might be multi-generational families living in the same house, and more that might be starting back up again, or you have family that lives in another country, but maybe you don't speak that language very well, or maybe you're trying to teach your kid a language. The cool thing is I could speak in English and then have it speak out in Spanish, and then have him read and write that and hear it, and vice versa. I could be speaking in Spanish and have it translate to English, and then he's got to say something in English, say it back, and back and forth. Or if I wanted to learn German, I could put in stuff. It's just really neat. And like the on-screen stuff, the translation, you can take a photo, select the text, bring it in and translate it. Google Lens, I mean, all these features that have existed for a long time that some of us see it as like niche features, or see it as, oh, most of us aren't going to use that. It's camera stuff, or oh, it's editing software, or it's video software. But realistically, we all can use a little less, annoying phone calls, and we can all use being able to understand other people in our lives better. And we can all benefit from being able to, maybe there's some fast food place or some new restaurant that opened, and maybe they don't speak English very well, but you want to go there. You want to travel to another country, you want to step outside. So, technology doesn't have to confine us. It can allow us to explore other areas by utilizing those things. We have earbuds that can translate now. I could be using the microphone from the earbuds and hold this up and back and forth. And I remember, oh gosh, it was about 10 years ago. I was working at a Target, and a lady came in and she only spoke Japanese. I took out my iPhone and took out a translation app and said, in English, you know, hey, this is, a translator, hit this button. And I put that, and then she understood, hit this button, say what she says, let's go. And it speaks in English to me, and then I hit and said back to her. And I was able to help her find what she needed, where other people might have just kind of let her struggle or not known what to do. And so we don't have to be separated from interactions just because technology exists. We're not, looking at our phones all the time, or isolated within headsets, or just doing their own thing, or, earbuds in. I feel like these headsets, in a way, are kind of the old, um, like trucker earpieces, where people would have those on and they'd just be talking to somebody, and you weren't sure if they were talking to you or talking to somebody on that. Or some people would just put them in just to kind of ignore people going around. So technology doesn't have to be isolating, and I think that that's an important discussion. We use it to communicate to the whole world of people through our content, but do we use it in other ways where, we can communicate to people without interfering with things? I like that, on I'm wearing my Galaxy Watch, but on my Apple Watch, the whole walkie-talkie thing is really nice to be able to. I interact with my parents with that sometimes, or FaceTime or certain things like that. The amazing abilities for that, but as new technology is like live transcription on screen, so you can do a video chat and be deaf because you could have it transcribe across the screen like a closed captioning. Hey Scoop, how's it going? Um, so to me, a lot of my motivation in continuing to make these videos and to make content, I could sit here at 1,000 subscribers and just be sitting at this number of subscribers and be perfectly fine. Now, why do I want to grow? Is because I want more people to kind of experience or think differently about the technology that they use. And for me, my motivation is that more people experience technology through my mind, and maybe it inspires them to use it more. You're spending all this money on your technology, but if you're spending $1,000 on a device, but you're getting $100 worth out of it, you're $900 behind. So even if you have the device for 5 years, you're $400 or $500 behind if you were to sell it. You know, so the idea that technology, we can be creative with it, and all these niches and all these kind of minute ways that we use it, but do we explore things? I mean, devices have these ports on it, but do we plug in and utilize the desktop mode? And people are like, well, Dex, it's not that important, and not a lot of people use it, but it's there, and it's like, okay, well, why would you buy a device? What would you pay more for that? Okay, you could buy a $400 or $500 phone and buy like a Mac Mini, like even a M1 for $400 or $500. Spend the same amount and have a full-on computer. Yeah, but that Mac Mini can't run off from battery. Doesn't have all my stuff on it. Can't take photos. I can't. With this, I can just quite literally plug in and go. How we utilize our technology. There's just ways that are incredible, and it's inspiring, it's motivating, and it's just awesome to me that we live in a day and age where we're surrounded by technology. And that's the other thing, discussing technology that's around us that maybe people don't under realize is there. Streetlights, stoplights, red, green, yellow, have technology in them. There's cameras up there that scan like for license and capture license plate, people's faces. There's stuff that gives an audible beep so people know when they can cross if they're visually impaired. If they're hearing impaired, you have the timing of the little guy on there. Um, our phones, the fact that with the cameras, one of the neat things that you can do on iPhones and um, with the ability of using the camera from your Android device, the simplest thing is, let's say you got a new shirt and you don't know how to handle washing it. Take a picture. You can use the cameras to scan those icons on there, and it will tell you how to do that. If you're visually impaired, you can hold it up in front of a microwave and move your finger, and it will tell you like which button are you pointing at. So hit the coffee button or the popcorn button or the add 30 seconds. The eventual use of this, with the fact that it will recognize people, would be you just put this in your pocket, or maybe you have glasses that have a camera like the Ray-Bans and some of these, and it will tell you who's stepped in front of you. Searching a general database, but maybe your own photos. Um, Translating. I think the eventual thing is the idea of a virtual version of yourself. We see these personas and we see these virtual versions of ourselves within, or of people within these headsets. But one of the things that's come to mind that is neat to me is where you can record your voice, right? And then it will take those audio sounds and then you could type out something and have it completely in your voice say something, or in someone celebrity's voice. But if I can record that in my own voice and then I can capture 3D scans of myself and software can age it, or I can capture myself at this age, something happens to me, I get injured or whatever, I could have a virtual version of myself in videos. Let's say I'm all burned up and scarred up and I don't like that. I can have a virtual version of that and I can type out stuff and it will say it. And I can continue to let my voice be heard and communicate. And some people think, well, there's unethical uses for it. Yeah, there always is. There's unethical uses for everything. AirTags have had unethical use, and people have been breaking laws using technology for years and will continue to. But the cool use for me is where we're allowed to kind of escape from time, and I could essentially live on for hundreds of years through technology, not just through my videos that, maybe YouTube doesn't exist 50 years from now, but somebody's taken this and brings it on. that somebody can hear this and be like, "Oh, that's what it was like in 2024, and that's what that was like using those." We're carrying, technology on our wrists and in our ears, and maybe on our faces now, or maybe not even on our wrists, but like you look down and there's not really a watch there, but the action of just looking down is something that allows us. You look down with your eyes, and because the software is trained, you've put a virtual watch there. The cool thing is this allows you to potentially carry technology that doesn't exist, but just in a pair of glasses and have that like on an airplane or explore art and even have art pieces on your wall that we put frames and you can have virtual frames. But the idea that someday, yeah, you have physical furniture and stuff, but if everybody could afford and have glasses on, you could change the look of that and you could have just a gray couch. Like I have a gray couch. Like my couch here, it's gray. I'm sitting in a blue chair. I've got, cream colored walls behind me. But people could customize their experience. So somebody comes walking in and they sit down and they see a blue couch because the eye tracking is so good that it allows them to see something different through their vision. They see a blue couch. Maybe that's their favorite color. And instead of watching, everybody having to watch what you're watching, they can just look over and watch what they want to watch and hear what they want to watch through theirs. And maybe they're like, "Oh, you should watch this," and you just say, "Well, share it to me," and they just they just look, maybe swipe across the front here, and oh, it's over here. Boom, flings it to my left and goes to that person. Or I look over and say, share with my wife, and it shares it to her, and she can see what I'm watching, and then maybe in a separate space and continue what she's watching. So technology does not have to be restrictive or confined, but it's something that we can all do together. So hey, Tech, how's it going? Um, so that's the thank you, sir. So with all this being said, I've been on here talking for almost an hour, and to me, this discussion of technology is really confined to what is your level of thought, what is your um imagination. And so to me, my channel isn't just simply about discussing what really is and how you can use stuff, but some of what I'm going to be diving into is where it could be going, and just having us imagine a little bit where technology could go. And some of us, already have thought about this, but I think that if more people think about where it can go, then we'll appreciate what we have, and we'll look to see like, okay, what can I do it? So, what can I do with it? And then some people don't even realize like capabilities that they've been able to do on their device for years, and I'm doing that. I am completely, one of these people that have discovered things that I didn't know you could do with some of these devices because they were in settings that I didn't know were there. Even though I've watched all these tips and trick videos, I never recall seeing some of these features really discussed. So for me, it's like I'm discovering these new things. It's like being a kid in a candy shop, and so I'm going to share them with people. So, it's amazing. Um, Tough year. Yeah, Etek, I hope I hope you are back to out here to make some more content again, and, to share your insights with all of us. I think, a lot of us have had a tough year. I talked about it a little bit earlier on in my stream. I had a little bit of a tough year too. Michael Corcoran. Oh, yep. No salt zone. Yep. No salt, no insults. NaCl. Um, so For me, well, I've focused primarily on this device and cases and stuff that right now is I will be focusing on some of the software stuff, but a lot of what I'm going to be talking about um, will work with other Android devices and older Samsung devices. And so that's really where I want to allow my discussion to kind of cross paths. So with that being said, it is 9:01 p.m. and I do believe, let's see here. I thought I just saw something about T. Is he going live tonight? T, when are you going live? Are you going on tonight, or are you going on like now, 9:30, 10 o'clock? Let me know. I'll let people know and send them over your way. But for now, I'm just gonna keep talking, I guess, until his stream comes up or until I run out of things to talk about, which may or may never happen. Um, so what I'm gonna say is that um, technology is confined by how you use, who uses it, how they use it, and what means and what wants people have for their technology. And it's up to us to kind of inform people of all the different ways that they can use their products and use their devices. And that's my goal, is to continue to do that and to not be restricted by the companies, not be focused strictly on, you know, obviously I can't buy every piece of technology, so I'm going to have to use what I have. But I can talk about other products, whether I own it or not, and give my insights. I can talk about the future of technology and just talk about articles and different things. And so, um, live streams from here on out. Um, my goal is to hopefully like I said, every Monday, maybe every other week right now, see how it goes. Do these live streams, and I'll have some articles and some things to focus on, talking about the kind of the top tech stuff. Might pull up and do some reactions. Might do bring on some guests. It'd be fun. If you're, watching and want to be a guest, you know, connect with me, Twitter DMs. I'd love to have guests on, do some panel discussions. So, you all don't have to just hear me blabber for like a half an hour to an hour or so. And with that being said, thanks everybody who came on by. I'll roll through it here. Tech Preacher, thank you. El Jefe, thank you. Barry Johnson, thank you. Jay Mims, thank you, sir. Jason C, thank you for coming on by. Check for your needs. Bonnie, Tech Loving Mama, Savage Scientist, Tech BT. Let's see. Me Tech and LaShawn and Michael Cocker. And thank you, everybody who came on by this live stream. If you're in the replay crew, let me know down below, hashtag replay. If you did watch the live stream, and please comment as well afterwards, hashtag no salt zone. So we'll do hashtag no salt zone. If you watch the replay, hashtag replay crew. And if you have things you'd like me to discuss, of course, throw those down below in the comments as well. And if you're watching this and you're new, do all the things, subscribe, thumbs up. It doesn't cost you anything. If you want to support the channel, there is a Buy Me a Coffee link down below. If you want to read some of my thoughts, there's a Patreon down there as well, which you can get for free. If you want to support on there, it's $2.99 a month as well. I am going to start doing some subscriber only content as I get kind of more people, or Patreon only content as I get more people paying over there and some stuff like that. Thanks for watching. Have a good rest of your Monday night. Um, I believe T will be going live probably before. I thought I saw something about him going live. I may have been mistaken, but anyways, have a good evening, y'all. Peace, and I bid you adieu.